Thanks for being had. Oh, look at you. What are you ready for a workout?
No, I had a shirt on. You want me to put it on? Do you want me to put a shirt on over it?
No, I'm not homophobic or anything. I'm just saying you look a little buff. I mean, are you expecting trouble? What is all that about?
Well, what about?
I mean, you look like the kind of guy who spends all day in the gym.
Yeah, that's flattering.
What?
No, I just don't know.
Look at those guns. And what is that? Why? Why so big? I mean,
why so big? I'm actually like 20 pounds lighter than I played at in college.
no, but like you look like you do a lot of lifting and shit.
Not too much. I do.
Really?
Yeah, I do mostly classes, and I fight a lot. I do a lot of self-defense fighting. A lot. Sparring and scenarios and shit like that.
You're talking about the CNN lawsuit? No.
No, I wish that shit would go away. Honestly.
Still going on?
Yeah, and I would settle it. I mean, I'm not looking for $100 million or anything like that. I just want everybody to be on the same page that I didn't lie to anybody about anything. And I totally get why the new ownership didn't like it. But the idea that my boss didn't know what I was doing is silly. He's all over the communications.
Oh.
So I would settle it.
It's, you should, because it's been so long that, like, as you go through that, I'm like barely remembering.
I know, and my main witness is my brother.
It's like,
But
it's so funny that the way, I remember when it was going on, it was like the biggest thing and everyone was talking about it as the giant scandal. And it so often happens in this country. I've been there myself, where something is like the biggest scandal. And then like a year later, people are like, what? So what happened? Something?
You are right.
And then like, if you can't,
are right.
I think there should be some rule or law, like if you can't even remember a year later what it was about, like I can remember what the Clinton scandal was about.
So it was supposed to be about a land transaction, right? That's how it started with Whitewater.
Yes.
I'll tell you what's frustrating is when something totally disrupted your life in material ways, and then people say to you, what was that again? What was it? It really stings because you're like, I lost so much over something that now they can't even remember.
That's what I just said.
But that's how the media is. I mean, you'll see that now with what we're living through with the Signal thing. They're going to chew on it, and the longer there's resistance on one side, and then it'll just go away, and you won't even remember it. Next time I see you,
you're talking about the group chat.
Yeah.
With you think that's a nothing burger?
I think, well, look, it's not a nothing burger, but it's not an everything burger either, and that's the problem. Is that it's got to be one or the other.
Well, no, it doesn't. It's no. I mean, it's not like the whole war started, but I mean to be so sloppy, especially an administration that like was threatening Hillary Clinton with jail.
The hypocrisy is what makes it deeper waters, what they're dealing with. But look,
to like be that sloppy about like who gets on your group chat.
Yes,
I mean. I'm not
about a war plan, by the way. It's not about whether or not I'm coming on Club Random. I mean, this was this was a big deal.
Well, okay. So
and they condemn the reporter.
Now you're saying it's a big deal.
No, I'm saying it's a big deal, but it's not everything. The idea everybody's got to be fired. Hegseth is gone. Walls is gone. They should all be gone.
I agree.
It's like that's the media just wanting that pound of flesh.
Of course, I agree.
And that's a part of the problem also. But Goldberg, you can say whatever you want about him. He did the right thing here. He contacted them once he knew what it was. Yeah. I mean, that's crazy. I wouldn't have done that.
That's the reporter who was mistakenly put on the group chat.
Yeah.
I mean, this is many, many years ago, like 15 years ago. I guess this was Twitter or something, and somebody wanted me to contact them. And anyway, I did push the wrong button or did the wrong thing, and my phone number was, and like look, I think, in 2 minutes I had 6,000 messages.
You doxed yourself.
Yeah. So it was no big deal. I got rid of the phone number in 20 minutes and had a new phone number. But people can do that. But I'm not the Secretary of Defense,
That's right.
and I wasn't attacking the Houthis.
That's right.
But it's so funny that you mention this common ground that we have, and maybe we could get on this common ground. It's something lefties and righties can really agree on, that when you make one mistake, they come after you and want their pound of flesh. You can understand that, and Pete Hegseth can understand that. You and Pete Hegseth could definitely have a drink
Mhm.
over and I could join that party over that idea of it's not really about the issues. Stop lying. It's about you want a scalp on the wall.
Mhm.
That's what you want. And I certainly have read enough stories uh, that you can tell this is just somebody at the paper who wants a Pulitzer Prize. So they're going to go after this. It's not about the story, it's about them and what they can get from it. And I think that'd be a great place for us to break bread
Yeah.
commonly.
The problem is that you only see it that way when it's your balls that are in the mousetrap. And when Hegseth was saying that Hillary Clinton had to go to jail and everything that had happened, this was the worst he'd ever heard of. He signed up for what he's getting right now.
Correct. So we both got to climb down from there. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the point that has to be made.
That's right.
You know,
And people get frustrated. Like right now, I'm sure my phone is warm to the touch with people saying, how can you say Hegseth doesn't have to go? How can you say this was classified? Well, because not everything has to be a death sentence.
also like
That's why.
any job, when you're in it a month or two, you're learning. Like, do I think somebody with his little experience for a job that big should have gotten in the first place? I do not.
Right.
But he's there, and now that he is there, okay,
And I said that at the time.
that's
But it's
water
not our call. It's the president's call.
right, and it's water under the bridge. He
Yeah.
is there, and when you are new in a job, yeah, there's going to be some fuck ups like that. But you just can't.
But I'll tell you what, I think that one of the things that has really, and everybody watching should know that Bill you haven't just been a good friend to me when I needed it. But I say it all the time. Bill Maher right now is top of class and on his game.
I'll finish your thought.
And I think the reason is that I say
Thank you.
that is you expose the game. Here's the hypocrisy. Here's why they're doing it. And that's where everyone really is. Not on that phone, not on social media. There they
No.
pick sides. But everybody sees it the way you see it if they're independent and just critically thinking.
Right.
They're
Unfortunately,
like, wait a minute, so they all have to go now?
Right.
Oh, and wait, was the mission okay? Oh, the mission was okay, but nobody talks about that.
And there's a little, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. But that's the little hitch in the plan, what you said there, independent and critically
Yeah.
thinking. If there were just more of them. I mean, I feel like that's my audience, and that has become your audience.
Yeah.
Which is great, and they need more of us. But however more of us there are, I don't know if there are more people that it's just so easy to go to your corner. And I certainly know people, some very, very close to me, who have no interest in this kind of thing. They just want to hate. I'm sorry, but that's what it is. They hate Trump. I don't think it's a good place for your mind to be, by the way, to hate anybody.
Mhm.
Hate what they do, policies. I mean, I could list things I hate about Trump from like making fun of McCain. I mean, right off the bat, I really, really hated that. And I'm not even a Republican, but I mean, people.
No, but you're decent.
Well, people, if you get shot down, you're not a hero. If you get captured, he got shot down. Like, wasn't it? Like he was trying to get shot down, or wasn't when his plane hit the ground and he broke his leg, he wasn't trying to get away. It was so offensive, but I don't hate him. And if you let yourself into that hate, then everything that happens you only see through the one partisan lens. So that's where your thing is about the signal thing, the worst thing that ever happened. You're right. It's not the worst thing that ever happened. But on the other hand, the administration's response is so different than responses in past eras. I mean, when the Bay of Pigs went bad, JFK went out there and he said, "I fucked up. My bad. Success has 1,000 fathers." Right?
Failure has one.
Failure is an orphan, he said.
Mhm.
Exactly. But it was just sort of understood that you owned things. Reagan, after the Contras, okay, it was a little squirrely, but he said, well, I didn't think we sold arms to the hostages, and that's what my heart told me, but the facts tell me otherwise. And that was his way of saying, yeah, I fucked up.
But we didn't have the crowdsourced consequences of cancel culture.
Now we're into the era of just, fuck you.
Yeah.
What are you talking
All
about?
scalps, and then 2 weeks later, we don't remember why we killed him. You know, why was that guy canceled? Why was she canceled? Something happened, right? And these people move on. I don't think it's an unfair level of scrutiny. I don't know what the mechanism would be. I don't know how to do it, but I do think that if you were in the scalps game, you should be open and investigated as well. And I know that a lot of the brothers and sisters in the media will say, well, you're going to have a chilling effect on journalists. It depends on what you're reporting on. If you're reporting on why they invoked the state secrets privilege in the litigation about the migrants that they sent out of here, then go deep and take it where it leads. But if you're just trying to get the guy for his sex life, if you're just trying to get him for something, cancel him, then why shouldn't that be done to you? And then see how ready you are to find that relevant the next time. Because we didn't used to report on that. I can't tell you
Sex
how many
life, are you talking about your brother?
No, because his party has rules. His party has rules. You may not like the rules, but in the Democratic Party, an allegation is enough. And then they cancel you. And he had like dozen. You know what I mean? So that's the rule of his party.
But
don't be a member of the party then.
I had Andrew on, I don't know when it was, a year and a half ago, you remember. And I mean, I've never done or rarely done as much homework as I did that week because I needed to do a deep dive into the allegations. By the way, I did the same thing the one time I ever did my homework here, because this is not a homework show, for Army Hammer, because I wanted to know. And in both cases, yeah, not much there.
I know.
And I say that not because you're his brother or because you're here or whatever, but when you looked at it, and we did this on the show, and the acid test is, when I just read some of the factual stuff, the audience laughed. That's my acid test. If the audience is laughing, it's absurd. Some of it was absurd. Now, maybe he I don't know, you Italians are a little too touchy for my taste to begin with. It's just a thing. It's just a cultural thing. But it was a stretch. And the Army Hammer thing was nothing. And I'm glad to see that both of them are rehabilitated. I take a lot of pride in my contribution. I'm not going to say I take credit for doing it, but I have contributed. That's one of my missions in life, to rehabilitating people who get cancer. Kathy Griffin was on my show. I mean, people, you can't just always be judged by your worst moment. That's just one of my pet peeves about the left that I would say they like to do, is judge you by your worst moment.
Yes.
And
that's why MAGA is immune, because they can only do it to their own. Donald Trump is truly the Teflon Don. The media cannot take him down.
No.
Because his people reject the basis of the criticism. There's an old expression, that if you have to decide whether or not to care about what someone says about you, the way you start is, well, who said it? What do I think of them? And people have made that assessment about the media. And they've said, you know what? I don't care what you say about him, because I think that you allow a lot worse. And I think you're kind of what you say he is. And that's why they're not going to get Hegseth out.
No.
But they would be if it were the Biden administration. They can cancel all day on the left. They cannot take out members of MAGA. Trump would have to go bad on the guy. It would probably have to be a federal case to make him even think about it. And there is a power in that for him. Do I think he's handling this the right way? No, but part of the reason he's not handling it the right way is that he doesn't respect the criticism. He knows he can just say, The Atlantic is a failed magazine.
Right.
This guy sucks.
Right.
They all suck.
Yeah.
Okay, but is what he's saying true? Well, who cares? They suck. And we killed the Houthis. That's good. And they move on if they're smart. They just move on, and the media will move on too.
Thank God we're bombing someone. I mean, they're a bad group of people, maybe not the whole country, but who are out to destroy Israel. They're disrupting shipping in the Red Sea. I mean, they're not some, lovable ragged band of miscreants. Yeah. I mean, they're terrorists.
But we have lost sight of good and evil. It's all advantage, Bill. You know, you mentioned Israel. Who ever thought that kids on American college
Not
campuses
me.
would be
Nope.
pro-Hamas? I thought the Jews had become white, like I have. You know, a generation ago, my father was an ethnic. He was described as an ethnic, all these little sneaky pejoratives, people like you saying they touch too much.
Yeah.
And a generation later, I'm a white guy,
And you're all
not
in,
the Jews.
you're all in the mob, is that right?
Of course, of course. My father
Could you do me a favor then?
hated it.
Could you ask a guy? No.
What do you need? What do you need?
You
Whose
know,
car are we going to take?
they used to intimate that about your father when he was the governor of New York.
My
that he
father, may rest
who
in
was
peace,
like the least mafioso guy in the world,
George
was
H.W.
Mario
Bush,
Cuomo.
says to him at a dinner later in life, may they both rest in peace. Hey, you know, Mario, we had a file on you when I was at the agency. We never found anything about the
Yeah,
mafia.
George Bush was the head of the CIA.
Yeah. He said, we never found anything about the mafia. And my father knew that he was trying to say it in a nice way, but he was
Right.
so offended that there was this kind of surprise that he wasn't a mobster. My father hated the mafia.
Of
He would not
course.
watch any of those movies.
Oh, well, he's missing a lot then.
He would not. He was like, why do I want to see the worst affect of my ethnicity?
Because they're great movies. Godfather, Goodfellas. He missed a lot. If we could bring him back, the first thing I'd do is sit him down.
Let me tell you, you obviously didn't know him. You didn't sit that guy down anywhere. That guy didn't do anything he didn't want to do. That's why he struggled in politics. You know, one of the advantages my brother has in having watched my father develop and really be his guy. My brother was the main guy for my father since he was 18, okay? And Andrew can make deals. Andrew knows how to make things happen. My father could not get past the fact that what you want is wrong, okay? I know there's a deal to be made. I don't want to make a deal with you. What you want is wrong, and I'm not making the deal. Fuck you, let's fight. And so he was a great orator. He was a great motivator of people and their interests.
You're talking about your father
Yes,
or your
but
brother?
a deal maker? No. Andrew has a different skill set. Andrew gets deals done. He uses mechanisms of government.
He's
to get
running
things
for
done,
mayor in New York now.
as far as I know.
Are you helping him with this tragedy?
No.
No?
No.
Come on.
No,
Why?
he's
What do you got to lose now? You're not going to lose your job again.
He's got better people, but you know what?
Come
My
on.
brother, because of what happened,
You don't talk to your brother about
I talk to him all the time.
about political strategy, about what? Hey, what's going on in your life? Well, I'm running for mayor. Nothing interesting there.
He
What'd you have
is
for dinner?
so worried about protecting me because of what happened
Really?
that
When News Nation's going to fire you now?
no, I mean I hope not, but you know, or at least not for that, you know. But
Can't get fired off this show.
that's true. That's true. I'm safe. It's a safe space. But you know, I'm his little brother. He's worried. He hates what happened. He feels so guilty about it. And I try to tell him, look, I made my own choices. I was always going to help my brother. I just didn't do anything underhanded, and I didn't lie about it. So do I talk to him? Of course I talk to him. Does he have better minds? Yeah, he's got good people around him. So
I mean, I like him. He's been on my show now a couple of times, even did the panel, which was great, I think. I don't think he's going to get past the nursing home thing. I mean, I read the New York papers. When the Times and the Post are, are both on the same page, it's, and, you know, I'm sure of course he wasn't trying to do something bad. But just like with the Hegseth thing almost, you kind of have to own, politics is a high wire act. Yeah, like one boner decision can, yeah, people go, I'm sorry, I can't trust that guy's judgment. Or they don't. I don't know what the fuck will happen. But I don't
think it determines the race. I think he's got a lot.
I do.
I think he's got a lot of pressure against him within that party. And they're going to have to make a decision whether they want to be in power or they want to police their own set of beliefs within their party. I mean, that's what they have to decide. What are they about as a party? I'm not a fan of the parties. I'm not a fan of the Democratic Party. I don't think they're my father's party by a long shot.
No.
But
Well, they could be.
you know, Andrew's leading in the polls for a reason. It's not name recognition. It's because when people look at their experience living in the city, they believe he's someone who can make it better.
It's also huge name recognition. You're the Cuomos. You're like royalty in New York. Your father was the governor. Your brother was the governor. You know, come on. Of course it's name recognition.
Right, but they know they know the controversies also.
Yeah, exactly.
So
no, people will, I mean, and luckily for him, he's got a weak field. I mean, Mayor Adams that name is pretty much in the
I don't
mud.
think Trump did him any favors with how that deal was structured. I was happy to hear that the amicus brief, that the person who was brought in to look at it, who's a very legitimate person, said these charges should be dropped. It shouldn't be that, let's see what happens after the election. It's not fair that Trump is trying to keep those hooks in Mayor Adams like that. I know my brother's running against him, but that's how I feel. I think the federal indictment was weak sauce, and I think this deal by Trump was manipulative. And you drop the charges, you don't.
Okay, weak sauce. You talking about the actual thing itself, the deal with Turkey? Well,
Yeah.
Right, I
It's
agree.
like upgrades.
I agree. I thought the same thing. I'm like, of all the things politicians do,
Yeah.
this guy, I mean, of all the places, Turkey.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, was it completely right that Mayor Adams will now say, oh, I don't think there was, I read about it. There's not, I know what the Kardashians say about the whole Armenian genocide, but you know what? I've looked into it. It was over 100 years ago. All right, it was Turkey. Can we just all enjoy Thanksgiving? Okay, it wasn't the greatest thing to do, but like the
Federal charges?
Again, like he and Trump bonded
Mm-hmm.
over. It's funny that we bond left and right over what the scalp hunters do to both of us.
Yeah. And it's the parties playing to their
God
worst instincts of those
damn it.
fringes.
What?
It's the fringe. The fringe dominates our dialogue,
Right.
dominates our process. And you're either, look, and then you get really pissed off when you see the hypocrisy of it.
I
What
mean,
is that?
there's I'm roofing you, Chris.
No, what is
kidding?
that that's in there?
It's every show I have to explain this.
Well, it's a
Jing.
dropper bottle.
Jing, I drink it. It's great. It's a way to make just normally carbonated water into tasty diet soda that has no chemicals. Boy, these people should pay me more.
Yeah.
I don't think they're paying me
I
anything.
never heard of it before, but I got to tell you, the dropper is a little menacing.
I love it. And it is. But you only need that much. Jing. I drink it. And I pour it on, no, I'm not going to say that. I used to say I pour it on dog shit. And they got mad. I was like, I was kidding. I was just trying to say, I don't know what I was trying to say. I was high. But it's not an insult. I like it. Anyway, there was something important we were talking about. What did you just ask me?
Well, we're kind of going through the hypocrisy of these fringe elements.
Yeah. Family Guy. They have a character on Family Guy. You watch Family Guy?
Oh, I love Seth MacFarlane.
Oh, well.
You know, I did his first. I know. I saw your whole thing with him.
Okay, what?
I liked.
He's one of my best friends.
I know. I liked the conversation.
I mean,
you
we
guys had
scream at
too.
each other sometimes, but he's one of my best friends.
I thought it was super smart. And you know,
we had a screaming match in the middle of the Tower Bar, one of the nicest restaurants in town. But you know, he also brought me the most amazing birthday present, and we came out fine. But like, yeah, we are that couple that just fight sometimes. I mean, like COVID, we did not agree on that shit.
Yeah, but that's called being human.
But anyway,
You guys are going to disagree.
There's a
I did his
crippled
first thing.
character on
Yeah.
Joe the cop.
Yeah.
And they make 1,000 jokes about it.
But he's a comic.
But it just shows you that, you can joke about these things without
I'm fine with it. But when you cancel one person,
No,
but
I
because it's a
agree.
black woman
Right, you're
who's
right.
doing it, they're not going to cancel her.
Totally.
That's the problem.
You're right. She wears the magic armor. She wears a magic armor so she can do that. Yes, you're right. And both parties do that. Like when you're in our side, like if I made a fat joke about anybody in the world, how dare you from the left? If you make it about Trump or Chris Christie, it's just hysterical.
That's right.
That's what we got to get past.
I know.
That's those independent, what did you call them? Independent and
Critical thinkers.
critical thinkers.
You know, like I tell people,
do
I don't
we-
want the lemmings. I want the lions. You know, you can have the lemmings. You got 45% of the country are happy to follow. Sheeple.
Oh, way more than that.
No, I think they just stay on the sidelines. I think they watch what's going on and they're like, these people are fucked up. Let me just stick to my regular life. Politics doesn't affect me anyway. I'm not going to let this toxify my brain space.
Right.
Because I have a lot of those people in my life.
I do too.
You know, they're running businesses.
You're right.
They're raising their families. They dip in and out.
They're having sex with me.
And they're feeling like, you know, I don't get what you people are fucking doing. It doesn't make any sense to me. You guys play by rules that don't exist in any friendship or any professional relationship. You're still laughing at yourself.
No,
you're still laughing at yourself.
No, I'm just not. What I'm laughing at is that we've been here for like, I don't know, 1,000 hours. And like, I really wanted to just say, how are you? And like right away, because we are the people we are, right away, what's comfortable for us is to go right into, and this story, and this story, and this race, and this thing, because that's the language we speak and what we love to talk about. But I really meant to say, you know, you're not on TV here. This is a different thing. How are you, my friend?
I'm happy to be here.
Are you happy in general?
Yeah, I mean, look, I like where my kids are at.
Where are they at?
So,
did you teach them not to end a sentence with a preposition?
The mother's cat, or whatever that stupid thing is between the A and the T. The youngest is determined to go to boarding school. Heartbreaking.
Determined to go to boarding school?
Yeah, she's and
is that a sentence anyone has ever said? I thought kids resisted boarding school.
And this kid is just, I mean, obviously it's my kid, so I'm biased, but I'm just so impressed by her. Her grind. Her name is Carolina Regina Mattia. We call her Cha-Cha. And she's...
You gave her all those names?
Well, Carolina, my wife, gave her. Regina is one grandmother. Mattia is the other grandmother. So she has their two names. And we call her Cha-Cha. And she's a grinder.
Cha-Cha?
Yeah.
How'd you get that?
When she was a kid, an infant, she had born with abdominal weakness. And she wasn't able to move the way she was supposed to. And when she started walking, she had to walk like this. And it looked like she was doing the cha-cha. So we kind of gave it to her as a joke.
To straighten that out?
Yeah. And she's just a grinder. She was a worker then, and she's a worker now. And she said, I love my friends. I love where we are. We live in this really great little place. She said, but I want to be around kids who are more ambitious and come from different settings. And I think it'll help me more in figuring out what I can do next. And I was like...
So she lives in Queens now? Is that where you are?
No, out in East Hampton.
Oh, East Hampton. Well, no wonder why she wants to get away.
So she goes to school in Sag Harbor, which is a great public school, great principal. They have great outcomes there. They have the International Baccalaureate program. It's really great public high school.
I always hated the Hamptons.
And I've always loved it off season. You know, when all you guys show up, we call them the city.
I was there once. It was terrible.
Oh, I love it.
I know. I guess people do.
As a fisherman.
It seems snobby.
Oh, parts of it certainly are, but mostly during the summer when the white pants show up. You know, in the off season, the rest of the time,
you're right.
it's a great community, and they're real people.
So it's like a beach community that only becomes asshole town in the summer.
That's right. When the Cityots show up.
The Cityots. But yeah, that's what I remember. This is a long time ago, but it was like the same people who were in the clubs in New York, and then you'd see them at the...
No, those aren't my people. You know, my people are artisans, family people, fishermen. Yeah,
artisans.
Yeah,
fishermen. Jesus?
Electricians. They run plumbing.
Like what kind of artisans? What are they making?
They're trades guys.
Like what?
Electricians, plumbers. You know, all the people who built this fucking house.
You think a plumber's an artisan? Okay.
What? You don't think so? Have you ever tried to fix a toilet?
You know what? I'll say this. It's so funny. Whenever people talk about plumbers, they always complain like, oh my God, this guy charged an arm and a leg. Yeah. If plumbers only knew what they actually could charge. I mean, when shit is backing up in your house, you could...
That's why I say artisans. And they know what they're doing, man. They know how to do things, build things, fix things.
Yes, I agree. We need more of that in America.
The biggest boats in the marinas where I go, yeah, you got your hedge funds, guys. But those are yachts. The big fishing boats... Builders, HVAC, you know.
Let's build a schooner right here.
Artisans. Yeah. We need more of them.
I want to work with my hands.
Big mistake getting away from the artisan class in this country.
I want to do things with my hands, Chris.
Come on, what man doesn't want to? No, what woman doesn't want to? Everybody wants to be able to fix shit.
I do something with my hand every night.
Oh, boy. Do you think of me?
Oh, we didn't need to take it in that direction.
You didn't say no.
Oh, my gosh.
Very flattered.
These bromances turn so quickly. First it's a bro thing, and then happy. So good. I mean, because yeah, you did kind of go through the mill.
Yeah. And you have to choose. I had to choose.
Between
There is a truth that is really hard to live with, which is nobody hurts you, nobody insults you, nobody damages you. You decide to feel those ways. Now, physical pain is different, but
well,
I get to choose whether or not I'm going to be angry at you. I'm going to hate you because of what you say or do to me. That's a choice. And I had to choose to, if not forgive, move past what happened and who did what and who said what and who didn't say or do what I thought they should. Just let it go and just live going forward. And I had to make that choice. And it took me time, but I do it more than I don't now.
I don't know. I sometimes get off on like like having scenarios in my mind of just
Too toxic.
of just doing. No, it's not horrible things.
It was for me.
It's just like I'll just like I don't know.
It was for me. I was in, I didn't know how to handle it. I'd never seen anything like that. I'd never seen 6 cars of paparazzi chasing one of us. It's people in the media. That doesn't happen.
I think it's healthy when you imagine your enemies having horrible things happen to them. Not obsessively, but just like to get to sleep. Just to get just to like, oh,
What does it do for you? Marcus Aurelius was right. He said the best revenge is to not be like whoever harmed you.
it's interesting. Jerry Seinfeld's a big Marcus Aurelius fan.
Yeah, it's an amazing.
Maybe he could have tell me.
He won't come on. All these people that I know
Marcus
personally.
Aurelius?
Marcus Aurelius is a tough get.
Well, he died in 180 AD.
Yeah,
but
I mean, but you gotta have.
That's what we call great name, bad guest.
It's hard to get a dead man on. But I know all these people. I just don't ask them to ever do anything professional unless they ask me. If I can help, then I have them on. But
what is it about Marcus Aurelius? I'm curious.
I don't think it's just him. Although it is fascinating to me that he had kept this compendium of notes for himself.
Well,
which I thought was very cool.
For the people who might not remember Marcus, he was the Roman emperor. You might remember him played by was it Richard Harris played him in Gladiator, the first one. He is the emperor who presided over the last great era of Roman history.
They called him one of the last good emperors.
So when he dies in 180 AD, but he also wrote philosophy. As rulers of the day did. They were philosopher kings.
Yes.
That concept seems very bizarre now.
I know, and it's a big mistake. Philosophy matters. We do not test these men and women about their why. It's just about getting power and keeping it. And policy is a byproduct.
But what is Marcus Aurelius's basic philosophy? Because I kind of forget.
So he was taught by Stoics, okay? Stoics were ancient Greeks. The misconception is that it means don't feel anything. That's not what it is. It's about choice. It's about living your life as a function of reasoned choice whenever possible. And understanding what guides that. And that is what you control. And then there's a whole big basket of shit that you just don't control. So you got to give very little attention and energy to it because you cannot change it. It's like the Serenity Prayer.
Right.
And it's just training yourself to be that way. And it is not easy. It's simple, but it's hard.
Okay, here's a Roman Empire joke.
You were just waiting for me to finish.
Yeah, but I was listening. So it's an old Jewish lady watching a movie like Ben-Hur, one of those movies, and it's the Colosseum, because you mentioned this about so the lions and the Christians are in the Colosseum, and it's she says, turn off the movie, and they come in, they say, so, man, we turn up, what's the matter? She said, it's too violent. I can't watch this. So they turn back the movie. She watches 2 minutes more. Turn off the movie. They come back and say, what's the matter? She says, I can't watch that. The lions, they're eating the Jews. And the guy says, no, they're not eating the Jews. They're eating the Christians. They turn the back movie on. 2 minutes later, she said, turn the movie off. Turn the movie off. What's the matter now? She says, one of the lions isn't eating.
All pain is personal. It's much easier when it's not you. My father used to tell a very funny joke. You know, it's so sad that so many things that I grew up with, where the different ethnicities swapped humor with one another. I think it added such a more healthy nature to the relationship than now when it's all sanitized.
It's terrible that I think racially we've lost out on so much that we made it so that you're walking on eggshells. Because I certainly remember an era, you know, I would say the late or mid 90s, certainly Clinton, our first black president, and there was certainly lots more work to do
Yeah,
racially. I mean,
still is.
yes, but like just certainly in the arts.
Hmm.
I think we have, you know, you cannot say that African Americans are not represented in TV and movies as they were. That was the complaint, and it was valid. That is definitely not a valid complaint. And great, happy for you. Okay, but like in that era, in through Obama, I feel like you could joke. I mean, there was a lot of comics, so their whole act was like black guys do this, white guys do this. You know, like even making that comparison now, it's like, how dare you? That's racist. And the fact that we can't like take the piss out of each other. You think of a movie like White Men Can't Jump. You know, it's a black guy and a white guy, and I think you've got to get it out there. And it doesn't mean you're racist or have hatred. It's just like, and also to be able to joke with someone is a bonding experience that we are denying ourselves.
Yes, I agree with you. And so then you know, when you're in my business, you know, you start kind of trying to plumb why. And the best I've been able to come up with is it's like the ultimate manifestation of rich people problems. That in this country, we ignore things that we could be fascinated by. You know, like the degree to which we have hungry kids in this country is always shocks me every time I go to these areas. And I'm like, how is this happening here?
How is it happening?
Because
There's so many programs.
we have become
Where are the kids hungry?
so top heavy.
They
Oh
look
my God.
fat.
We have more of a, we
They
are
do.
at once, but that's the truth. We are at once per capita one of the most obese places on the planet. And we have crazy percentages of women who die in childbirth and
Yes,
hungry
crazy.
kids
That one's
for
crazy.
us.
I know.
And it's like, because we're become so top heavy.
It's so embarrassing.
And that's what Trump was playing with, right? Which is that there is this real anger out here that, like, how are you people
Right.
living this way when it's so uneven in a land of opportunity? I get it. And we have created this dynamic of rich people problems where we destroy each other on these marginal bases you never would if you had a real enemy. You know, 9/11,
Yeah.
which, you know, you and I lived, there were some real fights politically for Bush before that, and Giuliani was dead man walking in New York City. 9/11 happens,
You know,
and it checks every box of
remember.
boogeyman for us.
Right.
And all of a sudden, all those fights ended. That was the last time we saw Congress vote on a conflict. And now, unfortunately, they voted the wrong way because
Yeah.
they had bad information. And there was no yellow cake in Iraq. And that's not where the 9/11 guys came from. They were all Saudis. But we were so scared. We were so scared.
But that was not the real reason for the war. And look, I was against the war too. But there is a world in the future because everything undergoes revisionism. You know, someone will write a book in 20 years and say, going into Iraq was the smartest thing we ever did. I don't think it was. But it was all a cover for one thing. Thomas Friedman used to write about this a lot. It really was about this, which wasn't a bad idea. That there is this cancer in the world, which is Islamic jihadism.
Mm-hmm.
Even people who argued with me about Islam would admit there is a cancer on this religion. And I would say, well, okay, well, you know, the next thing you always say about this is, well, but it's not everywhere. But if you get cancer, you don't go, well, it's not everywhere. You deal with it. Right?
And we started off the right way, and then we got into the political correctness and Obama refusing to say Islamic terror.
But
Remember that?
point about Iraq being, yes, that's true, down the road. But the point, what they were trying to do, what they were saying was, this world is never going to be safe or at peace until the Islamic part, which is a huge part, we're talking about 1.5 billion people.
Yep.
There has to be some example other than theocracy and madrasas and reading one book and Sharia law. There has to be some place that is an example. And it's not Egypt, and it's not Syria, and it's not Saudi Arabia, and it's not Gaza, and not the West Bank. And the only place in the world where Muslims are really free to speak is when they're in the West.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there are people, this specious argument about what about moderate Muslims, Bill? I'm all for them. I love them. They just don't exist that much anywhere, or when they do, they're just shouted down and intimidated.
Yep.
So we need a country. That was the idea. Maybe Iraq, which has a history of, they're not
Paris of the Middle East.
That was Beirut. That was not Baghdad. Beirut, they called the Paris of the Middle East. But Baghdad is on one level could be, yes, absolutely.
I believe you. I'm just thinking.
But yeah, Beirut also, which
Beirut is gorgeous.
Yeah, but if we had this country, so that idea, but of course, if you really wanted that idea to work, you can't just do it in 5 years, okay? We're talking about changing a whole culture. You have to say, this is a 50-year plan. Because even though it happened in Japan and Germany, this is a little more ingrained. Japan and Germany, they were just different. And this was going to take a longer period of time.
I think if you really cared about killing the idea, you would have gone to Saudi Arabia. And look, I don't believe you can bomb
What idea?
Terrorism as a function of extreme Islamism.
Right.
I think that you go to Saudi Arabia, which is the manufacturer of Wahhabism, which is the seed root of that.
And 15 of the 19 hijackers.
And you say, look, we're not going to bomb you. I can't bomb an idea out of existence. But
right.
You are funding it. And we will come in here and overtake you. And all your oil will be ours. Or you can police yourselves.
Yeah, that sounds like something Trump would say.
I know.
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying.
No, because look, you're not going to bomb your way through it. I got to tell you, I have so many regrets. And, that's not being a good Stoic, by the way, because regret is one of the most useless emotions there is. Because
really?
you can't change the past. You got to just live it
But you have to regret something to learn and do better in the future.
That's fine, but you got to get to that. You got to, like, oh, man, I fucked this up. And so, you know what I mean? The longer you stay here, you're not here. And so I have a lot of that still, especially in this job, because, at the end of the day, the pod people can say whatever they want.
I have a lot of regrets.
Media matters. I have a lot of regrets. People say you're not supposed to give the answer. If you could go back, would you? Everybody's supposed to say, no, because I wouldn't be where I am now. I would definitely go back.
I'm almost 70, but I cannot stop beating myself up about stuff I should have done better and known better at 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. It just took so long to not be so stupid. And I can't get over kind of hating myself, about certain things. Just somebody who perhaps I should not have, been in a relationship with. And people think, you don't like, no, I don't, she's fine. I don't like me because I made that choice and I should have known better. I wasn't a kid. I can't get over those kind of regrets. Now, you're right. I should be a Stoic. I should read Marcus Aurelius. I should smoke less pot or maybe more pot.
More pot.
More pot.
Pot
exactly.
Is good.
That's
pot
what I was
good.
just trying to get to. I should smoke more pot.
I'll tell you, it's
Continue your thoughts.
And I'll tell you why. Because you should use the things that allow you to be in the right headspace. And there's a reason that the assassins started using hashish, right? That's where the word comes from.
Right.
And it helped them deal with these extreme thoughts and process less and process differently. And I think that there's value in that. And I am a self-loather, and it is my biggest thing that I deal with. I have a great therapist who's tried to help me for so long.
Really?
Yeah.
Therapist? You?
Yeah. I believe in all the tools, brother. Anything that can help you get to a better place, you should be using it. There's no shame in my game. but cigar smoke will change this whole place. So that's why I didn't want to.
Ugh.
But I was
I
going to bring you
hate
cigars.
cigar smoke.
I know, that's
Ugh.
why I didn't.
You can, no, please, if you want one, have one.
No, I don't want it. It smokes up the whole
I
place.
want you to
I don't
be
smoke in my
happy.
house either. But I am
it
happy.
it smells like a skunk.
It's disgusting. But the smoke is, the taste is great. But I just so enjoy spending the time with you. So I'm fine with that.
All right.
So I have a buddy that Christina introduced me to. And Don Lemon is good friends with this guy and his husband also.
Don was here recently.
Yeah, I saw him. It was a great episode. I did. It was a great episode.
Oh, good.
He owns a company called Dragon Hemp, and this is far too intelligent for that. This guy owns this company called Dragon Hemp, and he makes hemp.
I love the title.
Hemp derived. He has all these Chinese botanicals and stuff. He's a very wise guy.
Hemp doesn't get you high.
Let me tell you, it does.
It does.
So it does. It does. So I'm telling you, I'll send you them. Now, you are hardcore.
Okay, I'm mind blown.
So it's not marijuana flower. It's different. It doesn't have the same psychotropic effects, but it does give you like a 2-drink buzz. But your processing is still there.
How much do you have to take for this 2 drinks?
You would take 2 of them. I would take half of one.
I probably need 10.
And no, I'm telling you, I have big-time weed smokers in my life who love these things.
Okay, well then Woody Harrelson and I really have to put out a mass newsletter apologizing because we have been making the case for a very long time about hemp, and we should legalize it because, they lumped it in with, because it's a cousin.
I don't have any problem with it being legalized.
Cousin of THC, but we always said, guys, they make sailboats out of this.
Yeah.
They make...
I don't have any problem with it.
The Declaration of Independence was on hemp paper. It doesn't get you high. Now you're telling me it gets us high.
There is a way
so
that you can pull it out, but it's not like THC
Take our
from
argument
marijuana.
and add to it.
Take
You
marijuana.
can read the Declaration of Independence and then snort it.
So I take the gummy. It takes about 45...
Oh, you do take the gummy. You're not kidding.
No, yeah, I took it. And it just...
Oh, today you took it.
I just took it before I came here.
Oh, wow.
You have any cookies? No, I'm kidding. So I
oh boy.
And it just gives you like a relaxed feeling.
You have to tell me.
And I love it. Because I don't really drink anymore.
See, that's the problem with me, is I wish I was you for this, because it doesn't, it's too much. It's a commitment, and you know me and commitment, not a big thing. And you're in it for too many hours. You don't control it. Like this, I can, as soon as I stop smoking, I'm not high.
Yes.
That's not the case with eating it. And also makes me a little paranoid.
I think that's the marijuana flower. I do not get it. And I'm very susceptible.
We're all different. See, this is why I had my issues with the COVID reaction in this country. Because I just know from other experiences, health-wise, we're all different. We're all very individuals when it comes to our health. So don't put out a big, write it in the sky banner. We all have to do this. I'm sorry. We don't all have to do it, or we shouldn't all have to do it.
But remember, you had Republicans and Democrats who were on that boat until it became inconvenient. Trump gave us the vaccine. Okay? It's a great vaccine.
We needed a vaccine.
It's the fastest.
I'm glad. Yeah.
And now he just doesn't talk about it. And I'll tell you, it's the only time I've seen him booed. He was on stage with Bill O'Reilly, and they were doing something like this. And O'Reilly, out of nowhere, because he's pretty deferential to Trump. I don't care what he says. But he looks at him and says, let's just get this out of the way. You were vaccinated, right? And Trump says, yeah. Boo. And you got the booster. I know you did, because I got it too, because of our age. Yes, I did. Boo. And he turns and he says, don't you boo me. And they keep booing. And he says, I'm all you got. Don't you boo me. I'm all you got. And they settled down. And it was a really interesting moment.
I mean, Trump
really interesting.
Is one of the most effective politicians, whatever you think of the policy and him as a person, just as a politician, just understanding that always lean in to being more who you are. The people are not savvy about issues, but they smell a phony a mile away. And that kind of shit, nobody else does it. There's a couple of times when, look, I've been his biggest critic for good reason. And when he got reelected, I said, I'm not going to pre-hate anything. And then the first week I said, well, there's lots of things I hate, because I do. Okay, there's some things I don't hate also, but The way he can do that and sometimes kind of make me go, oh man, I got to give it up. Like when he did that thing where the guy came in from the Taliban and he said, this is an aerial picture of your house. If during our withdrawal, one American is hurt, just know I know where you live. I was like, oh, can we just play the music now? Because I don't care. It's Donald Trump and he's the worst person ever, blah, blah, blah. I fucking love that.
Mhm.
One time they were doing something was going on with, and he said, you know what? When you come after New York, you got to go through me. It's like, oh, hometown boy. You know, he has those moments that no other politician has. And the Democrats have to find that guy.
They need a message, and then you find
Ah,
and then you find the messenger. No, but that's how it worked for
message.
Trump.
That's what that's the worst thing. The Democrats always say, message, here a message. Yeah, first of all, they did and they don't like it. Second of all, they don't give a shit. It's not about the message. Trump changes his message from day to day. Tariffs everywhere, tariffs
No,
nowhere.
those are policy
It doesn't
decisions.
matter. But they don't care about policy.
His
They don't
message-
understand it. His message is, I'm me, I'm strong, and I'm daddy. You know, they're on this daddy thing, you know, and people want a daddy. You know, Tucker Carlson, that whole thing, you've heard that thing about daddy came home and you need a spanking. And I'm like, this is getting a little weird, Mrs. Robinson. You know, daddy, but you know what? That's what works and that's what people respond to. They don't know the issues. They don't know the
Yes,
facts.
I
And
agree.
they have no interest in learning about them. They're like an animal. They're instinctive. Like, I smell fear or I smell alpha. And they smell alpha. And Democrats have to come up with an alpha. And it's not Tim Walz.
No, probably not.
And it's not the other Tim who ran.
Kane?
Tim Kaine. These are not alphas. It's like this thing of like, let's get a woman and then a docile man who's in every commercial where he's the asshole while mom takes care of business. You know, that's not a message that makes the tribe go, who is strong? Who's strong? Who's strong? Tim Walz. No. Org, give me rock. I need to kill myself because Tim Walz. You know, that you gotta appeal to people at a sort of post-civilization stage where we're kind of at on a primal level. You just do. And Trump does it better than anybody.
Trump does, and he started with a rejection principle. What took him from being a joke to being a messenger was two things. One that was really missed in the media, and I was just fortunate to be covering the rallies, so I saw it sooner. We forgot how powerful celebrity is in the American psyche, and that Trump being a TV star, see, I never saw him as a TV star because I've just known him my whole life.
Not just a TV star, but one who played a boss.
Yes. And that apprentice is really everybody wanted to be him. Now, maybe not certain aspects of his personality, but the money, the power, the agency. So they missed that. But when he really turned was, I know who you hate and I know what you hate because they all come to me and I hate them too. And I will make them pay.
Yeah.
The idea that Trump
Yeah.
was ever selling himself as a cure is bullshit. He was selling himself as a virus. I will get into the political corpus and I will make it sick. And that is what sustains him, is that when the media comes after him for something, people are like, yeah, but you're kind of part of what I hate. And he's fighting what I hate. Oh yeah, but he's this and that. You know, that's what you say. But you're like that too. Everybody is. And the people who you like are like that too, but you're only going after him.
I totally understand their hate. A lot of what they hate, I hate too.
Yeah, I get it.
But I just won't go. But I also have a rational mind.
Yes.
So I don't go all the way to then this is because it is worse to me.
Right.
What, you know, if you don't really believe in the secession of power, if you don't really believe in the emergency of climate change, I can't get on board with you. But yeah, the political instincts, the just the connection with
Yep.
people. I mean, people are always saying, I'm saying, it's my editorial this Friday about Republicans being North Korean with their leader. But why? the reason why that they're so afraid of him is that they know he has a connection. If you're a congressman, a senator, he has a connection with my voters
Yes.
that I do not have.
Nope. He will beat you.
I do not have that connection.
He will primary you, and more often than not, you will lose.
You know,
and that's if all you're about is keeping power. That's all you need to be kept in check.
So that's why every Republican is like, you're the alpha that like animals do.
The inflection moment for me, and this was like probably, I don't know, right now is a little bit of a competition with how the Democrats are handling this. But when I heard people on TV suggest that he hadn't been shot at and that the bullet didn't hit him.
Oh, I did that bit in my special. It's so ridiculous.
It was so, I was like, wow, they've really lost the fucking plot. This guy just got shot in the head. I called him. I was so embarrassed by how he handled it.
He did not get shot in the head, Chris. He got nicked in the ear.
Listen, if it was your ear, you'd say, I got shot in the head.
He did not get shot in the head. If he had, this country would probably be in a civil war right now.
I know. Thank God it didn't happen.
Thank God.
But I got to tell you, if it's me and that bullet grazes my ear.
Oh, I agree.
You hear the full story of someone tried to kill me, and you'd never see me again because I would have never continued running. That was way too close. That guy gets up, pumps his fist, bleeding down the side of his head, and the Democrats say maybe it's fake. That's when I think they really lost the plot.
Conspiracy theories are, I mean, yes, they're probably worse on the right, but it's not that they're non-existent on the left.
They just hate him.
It's
not as a conspiracy. They just hate him.
They do.
So he can't even get shot and get compassion.
Right, that's a great way to put it. He can't even shot. I should have put that in my bid. He can't even shot and get compassion. Right. Yeah, I know. The first thing, I mean, it's so funny. You are making me remember, I was on the road that day, and I remember arriving at the hotel. We had flown from the first city. It was the second city on my weekend things that I used to do. And I remember getting out of the car in front of the hotel, and the guy who came to get the bag said, "Did you hear Trump got shot?" I said, "No, we hadn't. It just had happened." I looked on my phone, and I was going to go on stage in 3 hours. And I, wrote a whole thing, and also did it on my show Friday that night, that later that week. Like, this is not funny. I'm not laughing at this. Any jokes about what a shame he missed are not what I'm interested in hearing and should not be done. I don't find them funny. I don't find them appropriate. I've been as critical of Donald Trump as anybody. I have standing here. But this is not cool because people were already doing it.
Yeah.
And
they weren't kidding, by the way.
No, and they were not kidding.
There are people who wanted him to die.
If you want better discourse, you can't be part of the problem.
That's right.
So
I'm with you. I think, the expression, I think Maya Angelou gets credit for it. But the idea of if you don't like what you see in the world, try to change it. And if you can't, change your attitude. And that's the place where people are stopping short, man. They're making it way too easy on them fucking selves to fall into these these lust, rage-driven short cycles of things. And they're forgetting their humanity. I don't like what Trump says and does on a regular basis. I called him because I wanted to say, look, he is very familiar with me and what I do and who I am. I said, I am embarrassed that you were treated this way by the media. And I just want you to know, I feel for your family. I don't know how they're letting you stay in the race. And the way you handled that was really impressive. And I hope you're okay, and I wish you well going forward.
Oh, that's
and
great.
I didn't say I wanted him to win because, that was not my interest. And then I start getting attacked. And I'm okay with getting attacked.
You said that personally to him or over the air?
I said it to him personally. And then I said, I'm not asking you any questions, and I'm not going to talk about our conversation. I'm just going to say I reached out for this, and what he said, he said. But so I start getting attacked. I have no problem getting attacked. I get attacked all the time. I sign up for it. I try to provoke it very often. But this was crazy. Where is your decency? He doesn't deserve decency. Who the fuck are you
I
to
couldn't.
say he doesn't deserve decency.
That's exactly why I have the issues I have with the left. That fucking attitude, that fucking bad attitude. Right.
They get to judge you as people.
They just
That's what their politics have become. My father never did that. And now I get this funny thing. I see it with you a little bit sometimes also, where people are like, oh yeah, Bill doesn't understand Democrats. Fuck you. The guy's been a Democrat for 55 fucking years.
I've never
You're going to tell him?
I've never been a Democrat. But I also will say I somehow never vote for the Republican. But I actually make a discerned decision every time. I mean, if you go back, did I think Bill Clinton was better than George W. Bush, George Herbert Walker? Yes, I did. Did I think that Gore would have been better than Bush, his son? Yes, I did. Did I think Bush was not as good as John Kerry? I liked a lot. Yeah, I voted. Did I think Obama? You know, you go through the thing. I always act. I feel like I give the other side another chance.
That's the way you're supposed to do it.
Right. I like McCain in 2000.
Yeah.
If McCain
until the economic stuff.
What?
He killed himself. McCain. McCain, when that election was about who can keep us safe, he had a shot, even with Palin. When he said, look, I'm not the guy for the economic stuff. That's not me, but I'll keep us safe. And then we had that fucking recession and it killed him.
You know what would be interesting? If 9/11 had happened in 1999.
He would have won.
Instead of 2001.
He would have won.
It could have been McCain.
100%.
War hero.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like people who don't get captured. I mean, come on, man.
Listen.
That's just a terrible thing to say.
It's terrible. And it's one of like a dozen things. And what's more terrible to me is not him. It's how people who used to beat me over the head with the idea that character counts with Bill Clinton now forgive anything this guy does. And I have no problem with forgiving everything somebody does, especially if you're a Christian. But you don't. You only forgive your own when it's convenient, and then you judge everybody else. And that's what bothers me about the MAGA movement, is that these people used to say that, I mean, Pence, that's why I was sideways with Pence. He wrote this letter when he was in Congress about President Clinton and how he has to be judged. You have to treat him the way you would your neighbor. And if he's doing these kinds of things that are immoral, you got to say it. Oh, really? But you're gonna stand next to this guy though, right? And then all of a sudden that goes out the window, right? That's what bothers me, is the hypocrisy. And it bothers people too.
But I also have a feeling, I may be wrong about this, that if I could say to Trump, hypothetically, that really bugged me about what you said about McCain. I mean, he flew this mission over, he was an Air Force pilot. It wasn't his fault. I feel like he's a guy, unlike most politicians who have to never flip-flop on anything. I feel like he could go, yeah, you know what? I think you're right.
Yeah. I just don't think he has that person in his life.
He may not. And he may not be able to do that. But I just feel like there's a kind of innocent honesty to him. Like the way he just voices his interior monologue.
Yes,
which is
he does. I don't know that I give him the label of honesty, but he's authentic.
Authentic. Well,
I'll give you authentic. Honest.
It's his honesty. It's his truth. For the people who are always about, well, there's my personal truth. Okay, I agree. What he's doing is worse, but it is sort of a version of that. My personal truth is that Zelensky has an approval rating of 4%, even though it's 57. It's not really that different than my personal truth. I could give you some examples. So, I just feel like there is a guy in there who's, obviously gotten everything he could ever want. He won the presidency twice. You can't win it more times than that, although they will try.
I know. Steve Bannon told me different.
It's the end of my editorial this week about the third term. It's okay. But anyway.
You're welcome.
I feel like he has the capacity, unlike most people, to maybe go, yeah, you know what? yeah, I just feel like because he's so all over the map with everything. Let's invade Greenland. Let's do things that nobody ever thought of. Canada is our biggest enemy,
For
or
good
whatever.
reason. They didn't
Or
think of
let's get the minerals out of Ukraine. Well, you know what? If we're giving them so much money, would it kill them to give them some minerals? Not the way
That
he's
one is-
doing it with
yeah.
a gun to their head, but like he just thinks outside the box.
Yes.
So I feel like there is a virtue to that. That's not always all bad, and I feel like he might be a guy who would go, yeah, I was mad at McCain, but you know what? You're right. He was a pilot. He did his thing. He loved America.
There'd be one thing that would be stopping him, assuming that's what he believes. There'd be one thing stopping him and he'd be right. Never, ever apologize.
Yes.
Not in this climate.
You're right.
I love when people say to me, oh,
But that's not an apology.
yeah, but I'm saying he is very aware in his head that there are two things that we say that are fucking lies, okay? The first one is, hey, look, if you just own it and apologize, people will respect that. Yeah, people will. Not the media. And not people on social media who are driving these algorithms.
They'll just make it worse.
That's right. And the second thing that we say is everybody loves a comeback. Not when it's in process, they don't. They love it once you are successful and have come back. Then they like it. They don't love it when it's in process. They're trying to kill you the whole time. It's like in The In-Laws, serpentine, 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 when they're running across the road. That's what it is.
Hey, Chris, we're all rooting for each other. That's the thing.
Right.
That's the thing about them.
We're rooting for each other to come in second.
They're all rooting for each other.
You're
being too sick.
I mean, especially in this business.
They're just good. They're good people.
This business is the worst. Hunter S. Thompson had it right.
They just want to get the truth.
No, they don't. Hunter S. Thompson had it right. The television business is uglier than most things. It's a money trench dug through the heart of journalism. It is a long plastic hallway where thieves and pimps run free and good men die like dogs for no good reason. That is this business. It is the ugliest thing I've ever been around. It's not that people don't do beautiful things with the opportunity. America has a signature blessing in some of the people it has in its media.
So I'm supposed to be impressed by that quote from that bloated old colostomy bag, Hunter S. Thompson.
I think it's a great quote. You don't have to like him.
No, I do. I'm kidding. I'm a big fan of Hunter S. Thompson.
Gonzo journalism. That's what everybody does now. It's all gonzo. It's all first person. Everybody wants you to tell you
but also
their experience.
I mean, talk about a guy, Trumpian, you might say, who just never gave an inch to anybody.
Never.
And this guy went out strong.
Yep.
I mean, he was not destined to live to 90.
Nope.
Because he just lived he was like, I'm going to live the Hunter S. Thompson lifestyle. Maybe I'll get 60. Whatever. I don't know how old when he died. Maybe 63 or something.
I don't know.
Yes, not late.
No.
Not crazy early, but from doing acid every day.
Yeah. Right. There were several organs in his body that were in the fetal position.
Yeah.
6-7 years of his life.
I'm going to have a good run. And then
I really don't have any part of it. Problem with it. I say something that people misinterpret, or at least they misinterpret how I mean it. I don't have any real interest in longevity. I train the way I do because I want to be capable of certain things as long as I can. And like my kids, they get upset at me. They be like, "You don't want to see my grandkids? You don't want to
lifting a Tesla? What
you don't want to see?
What are you training for?"
I train to be capable, defend myself, defend the people that I love.
Oh,
be
really?
Able to lift things.
Lift. Yeah, you
be
look
athletic. Those things matter to me.
I'm definitely athletic. I don't feel like I need to lift a tire or that shit. That looks like you can do that.
Yeah, I'm a strong motherfucker.
I said that when it came in, and you were like, "What are you talking about?"
No, I'm just saying I don't think I'm too big. But that's what it is.
I don't know. It depends on how you like tits.
How you like tits?
On
women, generally.
Well, that would be my point of view on women. But men like tits now. It's all mixed up these days with kids.
Politics has this concept called the 80-20. You look for 80-20 issues in politics where the people are overwhelmingly
I just read about it, yes.
And trans athletes is an 80-20.
That's an 80-20.
It's an 80-20 all day.
Well, explain to the people what that means. It means that 80% of the people...
80% of the people feel one way on it. And
80% of the people have common sense.
That's right.
And they understand that there are men's leagues and women's leagues because the women
For a
are
reason.
not as good as the men. That's not an insult to women. It's just life on earth. I didn't invent it. The God I don't believe in invented it. Okay, so that's what it is. But you could, the best WNBA team, if they played the worst NBA team, it would be a slaughter.
They'd have a hard night.
It would be more than a hard night. They wouldn't get a shot off. They're great scorers. Not when you're, I'm talking about the defense now. I just think every shot would be blocked. They're faster, they're bigger, they're stronger. They wouldn't get any rebounds. I just think it would, if they really played as hard as they could, it would just be a fucking massacre. And that's not an insult to women. It's just a nod to reality. And that's what, to your point about 80-20, like when 80% of the people get that, and again, my point about they're not savvy about issues, but they get men and women. They get that. Women have not changed that much.
They get fairness in most things, and they get to square it with what their lived experience is, and they see things and they understand it. And when it seems upside down in politics because of party preference, it pisses them off, and that's what Trump seized on. And he had to be an outsider. The one thing I'll give you...
What does your genius daughter think about something like this?
My 22-year-old...
Your boarding school.
Oh, the 15-year-old? So the 15-year-old is different than the 22-year-old in several ways. But
22? You got a kid 22?
Yeah, she's about to graduate. She's a singer and a songwriter. I'll play you some of her music when we're done. She is. What are you laughing at?
No,
Laugh at my daughter?
No, but it just... No.
Everybody's kid is a singer-songwriter? Is that what it is? So that's what she does. She's done it her whole life. I don't know what she's going to do with her life. We'll see. But the 15-year-old is very locked into character. So Trump or anybody who seems mean has a problem with her straight off the bat.
Right.
And that's the end of the analysis, which is what it used to be for conservatives, by the way. Which is, if you're not a good person, it's over. I don't really give a shit what you believe.
But it shouldn't be the end of the analysis.
Listen,
it should be the beginning.
I'm fine with that.
Right? Don't you agree?
But that's not how they used to play it. Oh, yeah. Look, first of all...
It should be the beginning.
Yes, because
there were some mean liberals.
Look, they're mean everything.
And they got shit done.
That's right. So what I say to her is, what are you electing? Are you electing your moral figure? Is that what you think this is? Is this some pastor that you're going for? Is this your husband? Is this someone who's going to date your mom? Who is this person? And if this is somebody who's got to do a dirty fucking job, then you have a different set of credentials. And I say to her sometimes, if you had to hire somebody to kill somebody, okay, and get past your problem with doing that, I'm just saying, would it be the nicest person that you could find?
No, it would be a mafia guy.
That's exactly right. Because they kill with no fucking thought. Kill their own parents.
Not the ear in the mafia.
Yeah, right? Okay, look at...
But wait.
So she has a problem with anybody on the basis of meanness, and she can't get past it. So she's not a particular fan.
But you said date your mom. That's your wife.
I know, but I'm saying like that's how you would measure the person.
Why would she be thinking about someone
I'm saying
dating
when you're figuring out what you're asking this person to do, you're going to have a certain lens of what matters to you.
But your wife shouldn't be dating.
I didn't use that as an example. I'm just putting it out there now.
I'm just saying your wife should not be dating.
Yeah, I get it. There would be a problem to start before who we were picking for the position. I get it. But the point is, you got to think about what you're asking the person to do and what set of traits go with that. And the idea that you want the nicest person, you want the most upstanding person to be your leader is rarely the case of who's best for the job. And it's a dirty fucking job. There's a lot of compromises. There are a lot of moral compromises that you have to make. And that's the reality of it.
Chris, as Jack Webb used to say on Dragnet, we have to recruit from humanity. And humans are imperfect. Mm-hmm. Humans are not good people. I've said that many times.
I believe that. In general, they suck. Sometimes they don't.
Sometimes they don't. Mm-hmm. And, it's so hard to tell.
Do you believe people are inherently good or bad?
I believe they're inherently horny.
I'll listen. I'll take it, and I'll tell you why. I agree. I believe that they are self-interested. And I'll tell you
Oh, yeah.
what I call the cookie test. They are not good or bad. They are self-interested.
You're right.
The cookie test. When I would have the babies, when they were young,
Have the baby.
yeah, when I had them like, with each
Oh.
other when they were playing in their groups,
Right.
you put a cookie between two infants and you see what human nature is. Okay?
That's awesome. I never thought of that.
You put the cookie between the two.
But babies eat cookies?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought babies ate milk.
They eat
Like, I
that
thought
too.
they only had liquid.
No.
No?
No.
How old do you
They
before,
phase
how old
6
when you
months,
get a
a
cookie?
year, a year and a half.
Oh, before then they're on the milk.
Oh, yeah. They're taking formula, whatever it is. But what I'm saying is,
Right.
you think that that's as good as they're
Like-
ever going to be.
Not like the first day at home.
No,
they get
you'll
Chips
kill it.
Ahoy.
You'll kill it.
What about soda?
But the idea that they're good,
Kids
only
can
is
eat soda.
Jing I give them, right? Because it looks like a
Jing
nipple.
is healthy.
It looks like a nipple anyway.
That's what I should say.
You just put a hole
I
in it.
drink it and I give it to babies.
It looks like mother's milk.
I give it to
and
babies.
it's just as good for you. It looks like mother's milk.
It's not going to hurt you.
So you see, they go for the cookie. And it's also true that they don't see race. Race is a learned quality.
Right.
You see it with the babies.
Well, they
But
must see it.
But they don't judge it, is what I'm
They
trying
don't
to say.
judge it, right?
We build that in. That's learned. We created race.
Yes.
We created race. So I'm talking to Tucker Carlson the other day, and I say that. And he says,
On purpose?
yeah. And he says, but where's the race gene? I said, what are you talking about? And he says, well, I mean, a black guy's a black guy, white guy's a white guy. I said, yeah. On the inside, we're like 99.9% the same. He's like, well, but obviously there's a difference. I said, yeah, we made it a difference. We look different. You may have a trait for a certain kind of hair, and I have one for a different kind of hair, but there is no race gene.
No.
And he was looking at me like I was fucking
Right.
crazy. And I realized there's like an army of people who agree with him that what are you talking about? Race is a thing. No, we created it. We created it. Yes, people look differently.
Well, it's real, but it's just based on where you grew up. If you grew up where the sun was shining a lot,
Yeah, you're going to be brown.
you need to be darker.
Yeah,
And if you grew up where the sun wasn't shining a lot, you got lighter.
yeah.
I mean, it's really that simple.
And
The
then they
fact
started
that-
moving around. So a guy like me, who's got all the Sicilian blood in him,
Right.
I look like a snowman compared to some of my cousins. Why? That's what's in the blood. The Normans must have come down at some point and done what they were going to do.
No, you look like a guinea.
Well, I definitely look like a guinea. Look at these features. My daughters are so happy they don't have my nose.
Really?
Oh, they look at my face with disgust.
Why? It's a strong, fine, proud nose.
That's what I say.
It's a,
Luckily, though, they look like
that
their
does
mom.
not deter women. I have a proud nose, as you know. I'm borrowing that phrase from someone, but like that doesn't. I think that they psychologically it registers you have a big dick or something. I don't know, but it is not a deterrent. I mean, look.
I have a size 14 shoe. I have huge hands and a big nose, and I'm hung like a sparrow. So there are exceptions to the rule.
Well, there's our lead. But it's sort of like what you were saying about like race. Like I don't think it's actually in the DNA. I think it's past the DNA. It's just again where your melanin was exposed to.
Yeah,
It's something that happened after the DNA was put into
Yes.
us. I don't think our DNA is that different.
But we
Now,
created the value system around it, is what I'm trying to say.
there are like certain obviously in professional sports important differences in like very tiny levels of efficiency in like your lower legs. That's why all the Olympic runners.
I think it's
bla-
multifactorial. I think that you will
No,
get
that's
groups
physical.
you will get groups of genetics though that are
There
more
no,
advantageous
there are no
to
white
quick twitch.
cornerbacks, my friend.
There's some. They're not as many as there are
No,
black.
there are none. There are
Look,
no white.
Adam Archuleta was one of the most athletic defensive backs we've ever seen in the NFL. He was a white guy.
What year did he retire?
Like 10 years ago.
Exactly.
No,
What
he was real though, this guy. He-
Yeah, so was
can have great
Jason
white
Sehorn on My Giants.
He was a great white athlete.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. What?
I'm just saying, I don't think it's as simple as that.
Of course it is. Why would there be none?
You're like Trump. So just keep insisting. It'll make it more true.
No, it's make it more true because because look at the depth chart.
Oh,
There
I'm
are
not saying
no-
that there aren't more black athletes in the professional sports than there
Yes,
are white ones. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, well, that's because of just a simple scientific physical reason.
I think that is an ingredient. I also think it's about focus and how big a part of your life that's made when you're young. How are there?
Really, you don't think white kids want to be in the NFL too?
I don't think that there are as many white kids as a percentage that believe that's their only way to success as you have with black kids.
You're delusional. That's lefty bullshit. That's no. White kids would love to be the NFL just as much as black kids.
They don't have to be the same way.
Oh, please. As if we're living in some era where if a black kid doesn't get in the NFL, their life is some racist nightmare in America.
No, I don't agree with that. I don't agree. I think that you're right. They don't have to be in the NFL to not have a nightmare life.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So this idea that the NFL is mostly and the NBA is mostly blacks because like otherwise, what else could they possibly do in America?
No, I just think
the white kids
it's
are
not just genetics. Is all I'm saying. I'm saying is genetics a factor? Yeah, for some athletes it is.
It's mostly genetics. When you're talking about elite athletes, we're talking about like fractions of a second. Okay, and when you lose a step in the NFL,
it's over.
You're retired. I mean, it's a very...
We see it in fighting all the time. The myth is that once you get knocked out, you're never the same. No, it's that you got knocked out most likely because you've lost a little bit of the acuity that you needed.
So little.
And just a little bit. And then once it's exposed, it's going to keep happening. That's why it keeps happening. And I've seen that in myself, my own skills in terms of how they've deteriorated.
What skills for what?
I fight. I train a lot.
Oh, you're talking about boxing?
Self-defense. No, I don't box.
No, boxing, ridiculous.
No, boxing is fine, but it's got rules.
Day.
Self-defense is about, no rules. You got to get out of this situation.
Oh, and this is organized?
Yeah. You have one of the best coaches I've ever come across that lives right here.
Me?
You are the best. You are like my Miyagi.
Who are we talking about?
No, his name is Tony Blauer. He's got a technique called the spear technique. And he's got a big following online. He trains all kinds of people. He's great. Self-defense.
Here.
Oh yeah, it's great. If you want, I can introduce you.
I don't want to.
It's a great guy. No, because he does it. His training is for this. It's not this. It's this. It's about understanding fear and understanding what to do with it, and what your choice structure is, and it's about how you grow your business. It's about how you deal with your relationships, and it's about how you protect your ass if somebody's trying to hit you.
Can't I just hire another bodyguard?
Yes, you can.
I mean,
in these days, you better have one.
Oh yeah, no, I'm very serious about that shit. No, I get it.
So I'm watching the other day. Stephen A. Smith is showing up in polls for president of the United States.
Oh yeah, we talked about it.
And I see his clip. LeBron James comes up to him, starts saying some shit about his son. Stop talking about my fucking son.
Oh, I saw that.
And then Stephen A. puts out a clip on one of his shows where he says, hey, if he had put his hands on me, I would have swung on his ass. And I'm watching it go around and how completely, we are so uncivilized. We give ourselves so much credit for being a civilized society.
Couldn't agree more.
And we are not. We are kidding ourselves.
Well,
we are violent. Everything about our culture is violent. And now they look at this manifestation of it in our president like it's such an aberration. This is who we are. People honor The Rock. They want to look like The Rock.
You look like The Rock.
Please, I look like a pebble compared to The Rock. I look like something that would get chipped off The Rock.
Exactly look like The Rock.
No.
What are you talking about?
Crazy guy's like 3 times my size. That's not the point. The point is that's what we idolize. Every sport is violent. Everything that we want, the males have to look a certain way. Everything's violent. Everything's aggressive. And then you expect to not see that manifested everywhere in your society? It's who we are. What do you think?
I've said it many times. Civilization is a mile wide and an inch deep.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, you just scratch the surface. That's why when shit goes down and the cops don't show up, it is really scary.
One of the big mythologies on the left is the defund the police bullshit. I remember calling Andrew when that first came out.
Such
I was
bullshit.
Like, listen, I was like, I don't get in your head very often, but do you know who doesn't want to defund the police? Poor black people who live in communities where they need the protection.
Right.
This is crazy what your people are saying. And
Why? What were his people saying?
the Democrats were saying defund the police.
Oh, his people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Not mostly the politicians, but the crazies who the Democratic politicians never have the balls to basically say, we're not part of this. These people are saying what they're saying on MSNBC, that's not us, okay? That's where the Democrat politician falls down, because mostly the Democratic politicians were not for that, but they were too afraid. They don't have the balls to say, that's bullshit. That's not who we are.
You don't police your side. Now, it depends on what it is, because with cancel culture, the left will take out bold-faced names everywhere it can. It can't get the MAGA people.
No, I told you before, I have a list of things I hate that Trump is doing and of things I don't hate. Among the things I don't hate is that police now have their morale back, which they lost after 2020. And they got blamed, the entire police force of the entire country, for George Floyd. Now, that guy, I'm glad he's in prison. I think it was murder. I don't care what the police manual says. You could tell you were killing him and you still kept your foot on his neck. And it's and no sympathy for you. I know people are trying to get him freed now, not on that page. But that is just not who the police are. Are there racists there? There are racists everywhere.
Yes.
Including on the other side.
Yes.
Okay? But the police are not some racist assassin gang. They're not some slave patrol, as I've heard talk about. And maybe
they come there from overseer into officer.
Yeah, I mean, it's come on, man. It's one of the toughest jobs.
Oh, yeah.
It's split-second decisions and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, could they be better? I've done many editorials about how they can. They don't need to fire their whole clip, all of them, into the same person over and over. Yeah, I get it. But I'm glad that the police have their morale back, because they feel like they have a guy in the Oval Office now who has their back.
Yeah, he just doesn't have that much control over their lives.
He doesn't, but it's a psychological thing.
Yeah, I mean he says the right things.
Doing that job is a psychological thing.
Oh, there's no... Listen, I've lived it up close.
What do you mean?
I've been with police in so many situations. I mean, that's why for the media...
Why?
Because I covered crime for 25 years. I was the anchor of 2020. I was a crime reporter.
You were embedded with them on the...
Oh, yeah. I've seen the police do such amazing things and what they have to put up with. And I mean, just go out with a HIDA team, the high-intensity drug trafficking areas, and you watch these guys who volunteer to go into these things with drug-crazed animals who want to kill them. And
are they holding?
They're holding, all right. They're holding.
I mean, the animals.
Yeah, I know. And what they do on a daily basis and what they get paid, and the scariest part for me is how little they're trained. You know, you have these guys go out there; they're not trained to fight. They're not trained to fight. So, what do you think they're going to do when you resist arrest? I'm not a fighter.
Right.
I've had like 3 months of training. Now I'm supposed to know what to do when you're some drug-fueled psycho who's like a steroid head or something like that. I'm going to shoot you. That's what's going to happen. The legal standard is lower for them for a reason.
Right.
We're expecting a level of discretion we don't train them for, because you don't want to pay for it. You don't want to put in the time. You don't want to put in the energy.
No, it's true. You can't give people a monopoly on violence, which we do, without giving them, the proper training.
And we don't do it. And like firefighters, you know, I remember after 9/11, everybody loved their firefighters, right? Loved them. They got fucked in the next contract. Right after 9/11, they got fucked with what they were asking for. And nobody gave a shit. It's the same thing with the cops.
Those astronauts who just came back from space after 9 months, did you see? They didn't get any, extra... They didn't even get overtime.
They lost bone density.
For being lost in space for 9 months, and they didn't get overtime.
Listen, Paul Whelan. So Paul Whelan's one of the guys that we got back from Russia, right? One of the guys who was unlawfully detained there for years. I'm doing this interview with him, very compelling. And all of a sudden, he says something as an aside that almost made me vomit. He says, you know, and then you come home and they have the act that they passed for people like me to be rehabilitated, but they never funded it. so there's no money in it. And he just keeps going. I'm like, wait a minute. You didn't get any money when you were taken because you were an American and you didn't do anything wrong and you were held for 5 years in a Russian prison? He goes, yeah, no, you don't get any compensation. They never funded it. Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, and then you want to tell us that you're a just society, that you're a good society, and that you're going to make judgments about people.
It'll be so easy.
And you're
too.
okay with that?
Like, where does that break down where the guy who could have made that call just didn't? It's so lazy.
Because we got to talk about Signalgate for the next week until something else happens.
No, I'm going to let you go. But you have anything to plug? I think it's great that you're on News Nation. I'm glad you landed somewhere. I'm glad your voice is out there. I'm glad you're talking to the people. I'm glad that you are not quite the reliable lefty you were on CNN. I feel like I trust you the way I hope people trust me, to just call it down the middle, call balls and strikes. I feel you're doing that, and I want, yes, I'd like the field to myself, but I'm glad more people are doing it for the sake of the country. And Chris, I'm always here for the country. That's mostly what I'm doing. Look good and you like my outfit?
I like your
you
outfit.
made my day.
I did.
And probably my week, maybe the month.
You did.
So
I love
thank
the
you.
outfit. The outfit's youthful.
I know, but I mean,
It's great.
Who doesn't like to
He
hear
looks
that
hot.
at my age?
He looks hot.
Right.
What can I say?
Thank you. So funny because whenever I think I'm like wearing something plain, that works better. And then when I try to do more, it works
Well,
worse.
you don't want to.
I like plain.
You don't want to have
Classic.
too
Yeah,
many
me too.
things going on. You know,
No.
like classic.
And you have to dress your age.
Yeah, you don't. I think that's one of the biggest tragedies is when guys start to age and then they try to, they're dressing.
Horrible.
No, you got some swagger too. You got some style.
Well, like there's an old saying, don't let the old man in. And I have, just don't let him in. And look, we were talking about this on your show, whenever that was, last week, or wink, wink, when we were wearing the exact same clothes.
Like the Golden Bachelor never changed the dress.
Yeah, exactly. But, I think not getting married is what keeps me young anyway. Because marriage it's like a milestone. It's kind of like saying, well, this part of my life is over. Not that that's bad. And now I'm in this phase. And then when you have kids, you kind of trade your fun for theirs a lot. And whereas you could say I'm immature, but I'm always in phase one. Because I like phase one.
Right.
I don't understand these couples when they talk about, they've been married a long time and they're like, oh, and they reminisce about the days when they first met. And it's also oh, and I was so nervous that I forgot to wash the dog the night we went out. And I thought he was cute when I saw him, but then he, farted into a bag or whatever it is. They have all these memories. And then and they kind of then are living off those memories for the next ever.
Well, that's
it never happens again. This 2-year period in their life, which they describe as so wonderful and I'm like, yeah, I never want that to end.
But the problem, I think, is when you stay in phase one after you've had a wife and kids and you're still trying to be.
Well, that's not good. No, you got.
I think that.
No, you got to make the choice.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of people, though, if they were really brutally honest, would say that they're settling or they settled.
Totally.
I'm sorry, that's a hard truth
It
to
is.
swallow, but I talk to a lot of women on a daily basis because of our show. It's millennial women, and a lot of them feel like they have settled, and that's just the truth. And I don't know more about men. I mean, a lot of my guy friends tell me, but
No, but we talked about it on our show with you. It's this thing where you feel it's something you're supposed to do, so you do it sometimes just because it's what you think you're supposed to do without actually thinking to yourself, hey, I'm going to be with this person for a very long period of time. And if you have kids, even if you separate, you're going to be co-parenting for a very long time.
You guys have kids.
2 kids.
we have 2 kids. We've known each other since we were 12. We have not been together that long. We dated.
I had to do a couple phase one activities for a while.
I also had to do a couple of my own activities.
But
But we've known each other for a long time.
we say to people all
He
the
wouldn't
time,
leave me alone.
I don't want to say we're unique because there's a lot of people.
I don't blame them. I mean,
I thought she was a substitute teacher when I saw her. She came in fully developed. I was 12 years old. I was like, did she look like this? I was like,
I
beeline.
ignored him for about 15 years.
Beeline.
yeah, she's hot. That's my question always with married people is like I look at her and like to take no disrespect to her.
I love it.
No, if you were saying, if you were like,
as just let's not be coy.
Yeah.
Like I look at that, like, wow, that's hot. But you've seen it a billion times. Can you see? Can you still see? That's one of the reasons I never got married is that it's very, and that's not
no,
my
thanks for
fault.
having me on the show.
It's just, it's
be
not,
honest.
it's not
It
my
won't hurt my
fault.
feelings.
It's not your fault. It's the way we're designed.
It is.
You know
And
what?
it's like
Robert Greene
like,
said that on our show. It's actually, it's human nature.
like my lizard brain right now wants her more than yours does, probably. Because just because
We talked about
that's just the truth. Because it's like that's we can't, and it's because I never saw her before.
Yes. So I get what you're saying.
And people know. I mean, Dr. Joyce Brothers used to. You know who that is?
No.
She was
I
this
do
TV psychologist. Like forever. I guess she died maybe 10 years ago or something. But she was always on TV. And, every talk show. And she was charming, not a comedian, but she was an expert. But she had a good sense of humor. And one of the things she used to always say was, when you see someone, you know within 7 seconds if you want to have sex with them.
Okay.
And I used
I
to
believe
think,
that.
wow, you need 7?
You know right away.
It's instant.
Yeah.
It's like, eyes, skin, bone structure, mate with that one, mate with that one,
Yeah.
don't mate with that one.
I mean, it's human nature, right?
I don't know how to explain it though. And I don't want to say we're unique because plenty of people are married and together for long periods of time, but I think we have a better sex life today than we did when we were younger, hence maybe the kids.
Awesome.
And I don't know what I think her dad caught us in the closet together when we were 12 years old. I was trying to get a blowjob.
12.
12.
I was trying to get
And
a
he's
blow.
good looking too. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
very good looking couple.
Thank you. He's a great looking guy.
He is.
I feel like
Thank
you
you.
also have gotten hotter
With age.
with age.
But I feel like women, doesn't affect women as much as men, it's just something about the DNA of wanting to spread the seed or something.
The aesthetics.
Yes, and also, women, it's not always just the physical.
No, it's
In
gotta
fact,
be a brain.
It's got to go through the brain.
I got it. I have to be stimulated mentally.
Of course.
If I'm not stimulated mentally, I
No,
don't care how hot
I would
the guy
say
is.
that is one of the major red letter days in my life, turning points in my life, when fully realizing that, like, oh, it has to go through the brain. I
Yeah.
know, you're young and you're horny and the hormones are raging, so you just want to get right to it, and it's just never going to work. And of course, they're not going for it because that's not how women work. Unless, again, you're at the Puff Daddy party or you're one of those musicians who the groupies, I'm telling you, there are guys who are just great looking. You must have had it happen where a girl just, grabbed your Johnson. It's like, well, it's not subtle. It's like,
You must have a line of girls, though.
Well, I never put them in a line.
Well, okay. Well, you
That
must.
would be
You haven't been struggling.
I bet
No.
you have a lot of girls
Well,
who, because you
I-
are so intelligent that I bet you have a lot of options. We can call it.
Let me
Not a
ask you
lot.
this. Can
We're
you
not gonna-
date or be with someone that even if they're super hot, can you spend a long period of time with them if they're not intellectually there?
I was wondering that too.
Like, I'm sure you can fuck them for a period of time, but can you spend
Like if they're annoying.
or if they don't have a thought?
At this age,
Yeah.
annoying can never be anywhere near in the equation. Sex is great, but nothing is worth sketchy, worrisome, annoying. Now, dumb, that's not always a deal breaker.
Okay.
Wait.
Okay.
No, I take that back. Ignorant. Ignorant and dumb are two different things. Ignorant, you're never going to find someone who's way less years alive than you, who knows as much as
Sure.
you, because you learn something every day. And,
Right.
but smart, you can be smart and not know much because they don't teach anything in school.
Yeah.
So, but someone who's smart and wants to know, nothing sexy.
What my dad used to say,
And it makes for a wonderful relationship.
he said, you can heal the sick and help the blind, but stupid's forever.
So true. You know, you're stupid, you can't learn. Ignorant just means you don't know something, and we're all ignorant of almost everything. I mean, there's infinite things you could know.
Well, if you go on the internet, nobody's ignorant.
With how busy you are and how much you have going on, though, how are you even meeting girls? Are they sliding into your DMs on Instagram? Like, what's the way to meet
I'm
you?
not on Instagram. I'm
Okay.
not on any social media. I've never done any dating or knowing anything on...
No apps.
Well, I have... Do I have Instagram? Yeah. I
have
have
the
it.
platform.
Once
You
in
have
a
it, but you
while, I
don't-
look at it, and it's only dogs doing crazy shit. That's all I have. That's all they think I want. And apparently I liked one there. And back in the day when it was just pictures, I did follow a bunch of hot models because it was just like, oh, it's like Playboy on my phone. But then they changed it, and I don't know. And somebody said, oh, they'll think you're trying to get with them. Really? If I just look at them? So I don't think I have maybe one or two are left, but mostly it's just dog things. But I didn't even look at it. I certainly have never communicated with anyone over Instagram. I wouldn't do it. I've seen people be embarrassed by it. I wouldn't go on a dating app. First of all, I don't think you could ever know anybody through a screen. Can I trust what they look like first? And then even past that, to get to know somebody, you have to be right here.
Yeah.
I have to be able to see your face, not through a screen. I have to see what those eyes do.
That's why we won't do our show without being in person. We won't do the remote interviews
I don't
because
care how
I can't.
famous they are.
I won't either. I mean, once in a blue moon, I will do a satellite like with Netanyahu.
Okay, we're not we don't have
He's the
Netanyahu.
Prime Minister of Israel.
I was like, well, I don't know who that.
Good friend of
I don't-
Bankman-Fried.
Okay, I'm learning today. I'm learning.
Anyway,
Today's a new day.
Anyway, but other than that, I insist they all have to come because, first of all, with the delay, I'm a comic. I work on split-second timing. You know, you have to have that in-person thing.
Yep.
And it's the same thing with mating. You
Yeah.
know, you have to you can feel it. There's pheromones involved. And you see people, like, just the little movements in someone's face as you're talking. You don't even consciously know it, but it's communicating a million things. You can't do that through a screen. And, you know...
I missed a lot of the dating. I didn't have any of the dating apps thing, but I always find it funny. I have my friends that are on there, and they go and they show up and to meet someone, and it's like, who are you? Like that's not what the person. It's not the true representative of the person.
Because there's filters and
There's
lighting
filters and there's makeup
and blah, blah, blah.
And you're taking the best picture, and so all of a sudden you get there and you think you're getting something, and then it's completely
Different.
So why is the sex better, you said?
Go back to the sex.
I think the sex is better because, one, we're getting better at having sex with each other.
Really?
A lot of people don't think that, Michael. A lot of people would say it gets stale and boring and it's the same old shit.
But also, we're very open and talk about sex all the time. We actually have a sex business. We got to send you some stuff. And
You have a what?
we have a sex business. We'll send you some
sex
stuff.
business.
Coconut oil lube, you can eat it, lick it, suck it, fuck it, and it can
it's a
turn a
little-
massage into a blowjob.
It was a little side journey we took on as we were experimenting in our own life.
Turning
We said,
a
"Andy, we should."
massage into a blowjob.
So, okay, you know how like when you
I'm
get a
gonna send you some
massage from
stuff.
someone and it turns into sex or a blowjob, but like
No,
the
I
massage
don't.
oil,
Well, we gotta.
I do not
You
know.
gotta
Maybe this
meet
is
some of my
why
friends.
we've lasted a while.
but like the massage, it goes into a blowjob or sex and you get all the oil everywhere. You want the oil to be like edible. You want to be able to eat
I
it.
don't feel like I need a segue for blowjobs. You know, I feel like...
You're efficient with your time.
Well, I mean, first of all, I mean, blowjobs are a little passive for my taste. I mean...
You don't like a blowjob.
Oh, I didn't say I didn't like it, but it's never been the focus of my... I mean, a lot of guys are like, oh, if I could just get blown and go right to sleep, or just get blown.
I feel like you can resonate.
That's
with
not
that.
my thing either. I like the real act.
Yeah, like...
Feels a little juvenile.
Well, it's
Just-
passive, like,
yeah.
whereas fucking is... I guess I'm a dominant type, you know, so it's hard to be... Anyway.
If someone's listening though and they want to meet you and they're this hot, beautiful lady, what's
What do
the
they
way
do?
to
What do they
meet
do?
them?
What do they do? You have to get set
Her
up.
friends?
Be smart enough to figure it out.
Ah, smart enough to
but
figure
again,
it out.
I'm good.
Yeah.
You're good.
I'm good.
Your cup's full.
Yeah, I'm not. Look, I'm just. Again, I don't want to be specific. Well, I say again, that was on your show. Now we're on my show, so I guess people didn't hear that. But they know. I like to keep my personal life close to the vest.
Well, that's because a
But-
lot of your life's so public, I think.
Well, nobody really gives a fuck about a 60-year-old man, except if I was doing something bad, which I'm not, or doing something scandalous. I mean, one thing I don't do is go to high-profile restaurants with someone, who they would just immediately they would write, she's a gold digger and he's a cradle robber, even though they know nothing about us. That would be the story because, the press is not your friends, really. That's what they're looking to do. So I don't need to give them that. And, I also am over that phase of my life, the, buying dinner, dating phase. It's like, come on, man. Can we, let's get, I lived that life.
Get to the end.
There's a dinner date. It's just an interview if you want to fuck somebody. It's like, please. And I also live my life by one extremely important principle: sex before food. The rest of the world does it wrong. I used to do it wrong. They have dinner and then they fuck. It's disgusting. You're eating.
Oh, I thought you meant like you don't get...
you're right.
You
Ew.
have to fuck and then eat. Both are better.
And then you're hungrier.
You're hungrier. You've earned it. You don't mind if you make your breath stink.
Guts not hanging out.
You're right. And also, like...
It's terrible
I agree.
to eat first and then fuck.
I
It's
thought you
the
were saying...
stupidest thing.
Rebrand it.
I took
And
it
you will
completely...
never get me to do it again.
I took it completely the wrong way. I thought you were saying you would not buy someone dinner unless they fuck you
well,
first.
I mean, I think
I
he's
was
kind of
not saying that at all.
I was like, whoa.
If I
Wild
like
take.
you, you can have all my money. It's
Yeah.
never been about money. I got more than I can use, and I'm not interested in anyone who's interested in me for that. And if you're truly not, then you can have a lot of it. I mean, it's just not a thing. But food and sex is. You cannot eat and then fuck. It's just disgusting and stupid. And you should be light and clean when you have sex. And then when you're done, you're worked up this great appetite. The food tastes better. You don't have to worry about what it's doing to your breath. It's.
This is one of the greatest things I've learned on
Well,
the show.
one of our
doing this
friends,
show in a
one
while.
of our friends made his girlfriend jalapeno peppers, and they ate them before they fucked, and
Yeah,
her pussy was on
the
fire. after.
jalapeno oil on his fingers because he made the poppers.
Right. They ate before they
Wow.
fucked. That's what happens.
I thought I had a lot of people are stupid stories, but
That's-
that one
that
really, that one is.
That one's a good one. Wow.
That's I could have to put that in the
she
top
wasn't
10.
very happy.
Anytime you're using food, I think in sex, you are barking up the wrong tree. If your sex life is somehow lacking, food is that's not the book that you're sticking under that leg of the couch that's going to make it sit up. It's just do something better. I mean, food is. I don't like food in general. I mean, I eat, of course, and I, like anyone, like tasty food, but like, I find myself going more and more hours into the day without eating
What time
because,
do you eat?
well, I get up about 11. Sometimes I don't eat till 5 or 6 because I have coffee, I have maybe a little snack here or there, but like basically, as soon as you eat, that's where most of the energy of the body goes to is digestion.
Yep.
And, you're just more alive. You're more alert. You're more wiry. Food is a buzz killer. I mean, it certainly kills, if you're stoned or drunk and you eat, yeah, now you killed it. Now you
What
ruined
time
that
are you
buzz you
going
worked so hard
to
on.
bed if you wake up at 11?
What's this?
What time are you going to bed?
Well, I mean, I used to go to bed crazy late, and now I only go.
That's typical of comedians, yeah?
Yeah, totally. Because, we are in the clubs when we start out till late. I was always on a late clock. The fun happens at night. I mean, it just, it's just more fun than the day. Like the things you would do at night.
If you're in phase one.
Which I have stayed in. If
in
you're in
phase one.
phase 1, that's right.
You're good.
That's a good run in phase one.
Yeah.
So
That's why I
what
always
time?
wanted to live right in the middle. I won't say exactly where we are in LA, but it's one of those cities that's right in the middle. Because if you're married, yeah, you live in Malibu, you go to work in the city, and then you go home. You're home for the night. Like I would go to work, I'd come back, I was like, yeah, but I'm going to go out again at 11.
Yeah.
So just getting started.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't do that much anymore. But yes, if somebody sometimes somebody has something at the last minute, and it's usually in this area, or if it's not, you can get to the other areas because you're in the middle. I like that.
Do you enjoy being friends with celebrities, or are most of your friends not celebrities and comedian?
Well, celebrity certainly doesn't determine one iota of how much someone is a friend of mine. I mean, I have one of the wonderful things I would say about getting to this point in life is that you have such a great collection of friends from all the different periods of your life. I have a couple of friends from childhood, a couple from college, a couple from more than a couple probably from early stand-up days. And then people I've met from doing either politically incorrect or real time over the years that have organically become friends. You don't want to push that on anyone as a talk show host. You don't want to, the first time, hey, let's exchange numbers. No, but over time it just happens. So that's a wonderful thing. And so some of them are celebrities and some of them are not. I mean, but they would all get along because they all think I'm great. So, they have that in common, and so they must have good taste.
Who's the coolest off air? Like, out of all the people that you know, who's the absolute coolest?
That's such a great question that I'm not going to answer, because whoever I didn't say would be so pissed.
I think you would say Rogan is one of them.
Would not.
Oh.
First of all, I don't know him off air.
Oh, you guys
only
have
know
such good
but you guys have a good
camaraderie.
rapport.
I can't believe that.
I have good camaraderie with everybody I talk to.
Okay,
I
fair.
really do.
Fair.
I mean, I like Joe a lot. Do we agree on everything? No, he's going to vote for Trump, which I think is insane. But that's him. Maybe it's you, and it doesn't make me like you one bit less. And I was having this argument with a very famous close friend of mine last night who believes he would not be friends with someone who votes for Trump, and I am not on that page.
We had somebody on the show the other day, and one of the things they said to me is, well, think about how many miserable liberal people, and my response was, think about how many miserable conservative people. I just think this whole idea of you have to base your friendship and your ideas on a side is so foreign to it. I hate it too. And we get so much shit on our show for having everybody from every different thought process on the show. And for Lauren and I can't imagine being put in a position where I have to decide who I'm going to be friends with based on their political ideology. I just think it's insane. Yeah. Some people will say, well, these people are actually harming people's lives and whatever issue that is, and they'll take it that far, but I just don't see it that way.
I mean, it's not untrue. I mean, this person was saying, Trump, he's racist, and this thing with the Haitians, it's like, yeah, it is. That's not untrue, but it's also way more complicated than that. I mean, the Muslim mayor of that town, Hamtramck in Michigan, I think only Muslim majority town in America, endorsed Trump. The guy who asked for a Muslim ban.
So there's nuance.
Yeah, there's nuance. It's so much more complicated. And also, I know some of the people that this friend of mine that I was talking to know that we have in common who are Trumpers. And I was like, really? You mean you don't want to be friends with that guy anymore? And the answer is usually, oh, well, it just really gives you pause. Really, I mean, maybe he's not your best friend in the world, but we have to cut off. And it's just and even if if you thought you had the moral high ground, which you don't, it's just counterproductive because you're going to have to talk to these people anyway. It's half the country, and they're not going away. They're not self-deporting. They're probably not going to change their views on a lot of stuff unless you talk to them. They're certainly not going to change at all if you don't talk to them. That much I can guarantee.
We talked about this on our show a little bit. I said, how we're basically 9/11 happened our freshman year of high school. We were young. And I think our generation has watched a lot of, honestly, in my opinion, a lot of warmongering for the last 20 years. And I said, it's hard to even distinguish which side is which anymore. There's people on the left now that are fans of Dick Cheney. If you would have told me people on the left would
and his daughter,
yeah, and that to me, it's so the line, the extremes have gone so far. I can't recognize which is which anymore.
The thing we were talking about on that other show that we were doing. As soon as Bobby Kennedy said processed foods were bad, suddenly we all switched teams on that one. It's just amazing the way they will switch teams on a dime. And it's first of all, it's kind of childish. I know you think you're the sophisticated ones. It's not really sophisticated to only see, your team, who's on your team. What can I learn that supports my team, or what I already know already? It's just not interesting to me. First of all, you're boring me.
Boring.
Don't bore me. Speaking of that, let's get more specific about what it is you're doing to each other that makes the sex better. Like specifically, I want to know specifically.
He wants to hear about the sex.
Everything is on the table.
I'll give tips. Wait, can I say what? Like, can I just let it rip?
You're 30-somethings, right?
I think that you got it.
You're doing it since you're 12 in the closet.
I think that I am very comfortable with my sexuality, and I think that makes it a lot.
As women get in their 30s.
Yeah, I've been comfortable since I was 12. But yes, ask my husband.
Oh, come on. There must have been a...
No, she's always... I
grew up pretty
What I
very
would say
free.
is Lauren has always been open to all possibilities.
But what a nice way to say anal.
No, that's not really my cup of tea.
Here's what it is.
Mine neither.
I think we
never did it, never will.
That's not my thing. That's not my thing.
Never did it in the naughty place.
You've never have?
No.
Ever?
No need, no desire.
Feel the same. It's just not my thing.
It's not my thing either, but I'm surprised that...
To each its own. I have friends that love it. Well, that's not what... When you said Lauren was open to anything,
I was not alluding to anal. No, that's actually not our thing, but I'm surprised in 63 years?
68.
68.
Oh, 60. Okay.
No.
That never once.
I mean... No, I mean, I never wanted to...
Imagine eating before anal.
They were always like, you're not putting that thing in.
No.
Too much food before anal, that's not...
No.
Well, that's another.
No, that's
disgusting
I think we talk to a lot of people. It's so funny doing the show that we've done for so long, and people get so squeamish around the topic of sex. And you realize that most people are probably not having a great time in the bedroom because they're so uncomfortable even talking about sex, let alone the act of having sex. Most people are just not... They're not comfortable talking about it. They're not comfortable doing it. They won't talk about with their partner. They won't tell people what they really want. Like Lauren and I talk a lot about, what's on both of our minds and what we both want. And I think
it kind of ruins it for me. It's kind of like saying to somebody, my birthday's tomorrow.
Yeah, I get what he's saying. Yeah.
But
I think...
And then when it's like, well, of course I told you. That was no big deal.
When you're in the act, you can ask for something.
Yeah, I should be better at that. I am not good at that.
You gotta ask.
Like, what if you want something and someone...
Not if they know what they're not... Well,
maybe you want something different.
Even better if you didn't have to.
Of course.
But you might be...
Even better
That's
if you
why the sex gets better, though. You asked me earlier why the sex gets better, because...
That's how you know who's the one.
Yeah.
You don't have to ask.
You don't have to ask. It just happens.
Once you ask, it's kind of over.
Yeah, well...
Happy birthday.
I guess...
I'm turning 33 today.
Sex as you go on in a relationship can get very tricky if you're not evolving the sex. I think the sex has to evolve.
But you keep avoiding the question. Like, you say you got better at it.
Yeah.
What are you actually doing?
No, you get
That's a good question.
Okay,
yeah, it is a good question.
Here's more specifics.
You get better at it because, one, to your point, you don't have to ask for the things you like as much because the person knows and you know your body.
What are these things?
Yeah, Michael, what are the things?
What are these things?
I don't know. I don't have to.
Michael, you love your balls grabbed. What are the things?
There you go. Now we're talking.
What are the things?
What are the things?
We talked about it on our podcast. I don't know why you're being gun-shy.
Well, your dad's going to listen to this at some point. Her dad's a big fan, by the way. He's going to listen.
Yeah, my dad's going to listen to this episode. That's okay, though. My dad encouraged openness. I think that's important to not make it weird.
Like your dad didn't want his balls grabbed. Please.
Yeah.
Yeah, your dad wanted his balls grabbed.
Of course.
Sure.
My dad had a couple
Still
girlfriends.
Does,
my dad
from what I hear.
My dad lived a life like you when I was young, so I saw a lot of different
really
situations.
Yeah.
Well, tell me about that. What do you mean?
I saw a lot of this is what I'll
separated.
say. My parents separated, and I saw a lot of different women coming in and out. And I saw the woman that ended up getting him compared to the women that didn't.
And what was the difference?
It's basically essentially what you said, is that she was like, I'm never going to marry you and I don't like you. And he was obsessed with her. Whereas the other ones leaned in with sort of like a desperate energy. And I think that it was very interesting as a young child to see that experiment done in front of my face. Because even some ones that were so hot and even smart, they didn't know how to sort of play and finesse the game.
And that's how you got him?
Yeah, I got you. I ignored
Probably.
you for 15 years.
That's true.
Yeah.
Wow. That is a slow burn.
It was a slow burn.
It was a slow burn.
Like I said, I had to do a couple phase 1 side missions for a
You had
minute.
a lot of
That's
side.
probably worked out better.
It's way better because we went away.
You'd be so much more tired of each other.
Oh no, that wouldn't have been good. That would have been suffocating.
I also think we like at the end of this is like a weird thing to say, but
Yeah.
we're also, this is making it sound cheesy, but we're so close. We're best friends, and it's like, and I know that sounds weird in a sexual connotation,
It
but
doesn't sound weird. It's what everybody says. I never get it.
yeah, it just
I don't think it's that we're best friends. I think that I actually and you actually, we like being around each other. That's the
You
difference.
also said something else.
A lot of people don't
There's
like being
pheromones
around
that
each
are
other.
important. The pheromone. There's
Pheromones
something
are
that like listen. I've been with a lot of other women, and I never took any of it very seriously. I didn't have that pheromone. They're like, yeah, we had fun and all that, but there was never that kind of real connection where it was going to be something long term.
Chemistry.
Like it just felt like, okay, this is a thing you're doing for a small period of time.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to, again, divulge my life, but let's hypothetically say there was one girl who I'm insanely in love with. Like, I would say to her, I think I like you. It's so much sexier than I love you.
Way sexier.
Not that I love you isn't appropriate, and of course we want love, and
It's not a very sexy thing to say.
But when I say I like you,
Uh-huh.
it's just like so much realer,
Uh-huh.
and it's just sexier, and it's like you can love somebody and not like them anymore, and people get there, and that's the secret. Keep the like alive. People say keep the love alive. Love, at a certain point, it starts to pass into codependency and lots of other things that maybe are sort of wearing the cloak of love, but I'm not sure they are. But like has to be real.